Also around the world on myjoyonline.com. Coming up, Attorney General incurs wrath of sponsors of anti-gay bill on the minority side of Parliament after he accused them of pushing the bill to score political points as he questions their motive.
And so would be my expectation. But of course, I mean, that's entirely within the bosom of the President and leadership of Parliament, including the Speaker, to, as it were, engage and try and resolve this matter so that if there's a need for Parliament to be recalled, which I would expect should be the case.
And as the rift between the executive and the legislature deepens, the parliamentary affairs analyst is calling for consensus building on the matter. Now, also in this bulletin, houses have been touched by irate youth in a renewed chieftaincy dispute in Bole in the Savannah region. We'll take you to the ground for an update on the situation. And on the strike by teacher union, some final year junior high school pupils in the Ashanti region are calling on the government to ensure their teachers return to the classroom to avert any negative impact on academic activities.
Strike in Yanka. The two Ghana and Penny Fenim say slow mwala. The HS for here no mom because strike no more and no say effects or yes so.
Now, Attorney General and Minister for Justice Godfrey Dame has incurred the wrath of sponsors of the anti-gay bill on a minority side in Parliament as he tore into them, accusing them of engaging in partisan politics on such a sensitive issue. He's also questioning the push for President Akufo-Addo to assent to the Human Sexual Right and Family Values Bill passed by Parliament in February. Now, Parliament is in a standoff with the presidency over the Anti-LGBTQI bill, following the president's decision to wait on the Supreme Court to arrive at a decision on a suit filed against it. We'll hear from the AG shortly, but first, let's bring you the advice he gave when the bill was in consideration in Parliament. Now, he said the bill is a private member's bill subject to Article 108 of the Constitution and should not have any financial implications on government. However, this bill is indicative of financial implications. He continued by saying, as part of his advice, that this is a private member's bill. He moved on from there and spoke about several other things as to what should be done in terms of, suggesting some amendment. Now, he says aspects of the bill in its current form may violate some fundamental right and freedom enshrined in the Constitution, including the right to freedom of expression, thought and conscience, and freedom from discrimination. Now, some provisions of the bill repeat the following existing legislations. He says, he quoted Marriages Act 1884, 1885, Cap 127, Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, Criminal and Other Offences Act 1960, Act 30, and the Children's Act 1998. Now, he says the bill seeks to state a broader prohibition on unnatural carnal knowledge, criminalization of sexual intercourse between persons of the same sex. This does not appear to be inconsistent with the Constitution. So this is one of the advices that he gave. Now, he went on to say that the restrictions on the dissemination of certain kinds of information directed at children are not inconsistent with the Constitution. Now, he again says the prohibition on adoption, fosterage, and marriage between persons of the same sex placed by clauses 17 and 18 of the bill are not inconsistent with the Constitution. It means that they are inconsistent with the bill. Now, he again says possible implementation of challenges are likely to be faced after the bill is passed. So he gave that warning that possible implementation challenges are likely to be faced after the bill is passed. Some provisions, when implemented, will violate some fundamental human rights and freedoms, particularly the right to privacy. So that was the Attorney General then. Now, speaking in an interview with Joy FM, Attorney General Godfrey Dame challenged the intent behind the push for the bill.
What is the point in actually transmitting a bill whose validity, constitutional validity, has been challenged in the Supreme Court of Ghana? And I would say that on all fronts, on all accord, What is the point in actually transmitting a bill whose validity, constitutional validity, has been challenged in the Supreme Court of Ghana? And I would say that on all fronts, on all accord, indeed, every aspect of this process is political. Every aspect of this bill is politically motivated. Otherwise, there's really no urgency. I remember mooting the contract amendment bill by which public officers are prohibited from charging compound interest as a rate of interest in contract. That's a very important bill, a bill that has to do with the public protection of the public purse, where it actually has a tendency to save the state billions of cedis in judgment debt. The bill was passed by Parliament in July 2023. It was only brought to the President for his assent about 3 weeks ago. The President assented to it only about 2 weeks ago. So clearly, it tells you that every step that is being taken in this matter is politically motivated. And I find it so much in bad faith.
Well, one of the co-sponsors of the bill, Emmanuel Kwesi Bejra, is disputing the Attorney General's assertion. He spoke on Top Story a while ago.
Well, good evening, and thank you so much for reaching out to me. I will say categorically that there's no politicking in pushing for this bill. You are aware that we are 8 sponsors of the bill, and one of our sponsors comes from our friends from the majority side. That's the Reverend Intim Forjo, who is from the MPP side. And so if there is anything to go by, since we have our colleagues from the other side supporting him. Having said that, you have some of our colleagues from the other side who got amendment. The former majority leader, Honorable Chairman Samboso, supported the bill to the letter. His amendments were all carried out. The Honorable former Minister for Science and Technology, who also supported it and gave us some explanation, Dr. Free, giving us some explanation with medical understanding. And so clearly there was no political push for this bill. And so I don't have one. I don't believe any of my colleagues who sponsored this bill have one, any political connection to this bill. I don't know where he's taking it from. I don't believe that any of us are engaging in politicking of this. If he thinks that any of us are engaging in politicking with this bill, then he should come out to name the person. I believe he mentioned Sam George in particular. Sam George is not the only sponsor. We are 8 sponsors.
Now, the Catholic Bishops' Conference, one of the religious groupings that have been vociferous on these issues since the calls for the passage of such bill started, have expressed disappointment over the President's refusal to sign the bill into law. Very Reverend Clement Kwesi Eje is the Secretary General of the conference.
It is a bit unfortunate. You see that this is coming. This is coming up. For me, it's like our democracy is young. We are growing. These things may come. What they need to do is to sit down behind the scenes and talk, because it affects both of them. Like the legislature has its role to play, the executive has its role to play, and the judicial. I mean, the checks and balances are okay. They're good for us. Once in a while, they may have this kind of problems and so on. But for me, it's a young democracy, and we are growing. But it's unfortunate. For me, the bill should have been transmitted to the presidency. And there are rules. I mean, Article 106 makes it clear. If you look at it, they have a problem. I've heard what the Attorney General said, giving reason and so on. This is what the reason the president could have given and sent it back to Parliament with that memorandum for them to look at them. They didn't do that. And now they're coming to give us reasons. The Constitution doesn't say Attorney General should give us reasons. The President should write a memorandum with all the reasons for the Parliament, for the legislature to consider. That wasn't done. Wasn't done. And you are saying because there was an injunction, there was no injunction on you. It was rather on Parliament not to transmit. So it has nothing to do with it. Whether the Parliament will transmit or not, it has nothing to do with you, the President.
Now, remember that the standoff between the presidency and Parliament due to the president's refusal to assent to the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill due to an interlocutory injunction at the Supreme Court has resulted in the suspension of the confirmation of the president's new minister-designate. One of the affected ministers, lawyer Andre Japamesa, who is the minister-designate for tourism, arts and culture, says they expect the issues to be resolved soon.
I believe that we due to come back sometime in May and spending the whole of the rest of the month and April just so this matter can be dealt with, I think would be a stretch. And so would be my expectation. But of course, I mean, that's entirely within the bosom of the president and leadership of parliament, including the speaker, to, as it were, engage and try and resolve this matter so that if there's a need for parliament to be recalled, which I would expect should be the case, then we can go back and deal with this matter, especially when the report of the appointment committee was to approve at least the first 9 that I've seen by consensus. So really, it shouldn't be something that should take a lot of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Away from that, some final year junior high school pupils in the Ashanti region have called on the government to ensure their teachers return to the classroom to avert any negative impact on academic activities. Most schools were compelled to close early as the teachers carried through their indefinite strike over delay in addressing their conditions of service. Now, some final year pupils who spoke to JoyNews say preparation for their upcoming examination will be affected if their teachers remain on strike.
Yeah, we are going to write our BC, so it will affect us small. So we want to. They told us for 1 week, but I don't know if it's for 1 week or not. So they didn't teach us today. They are walking around. Some of them have left the school, so they have gone home.
Denim se be suade na se ye suade. Ye ba ye headmaster pe na be to no school. Teacher ni bi any school mu hanu se. Ye ba ye busa om so ko strike. Pacho ye ni mu ade krunti om ko strike. So you say ye hwe om anim se bia wo kire om be ba na so om ma. We
should be studying by now for our exams on Monday, but the teachers are on strike. Government should listen to their concerns.
Maybe I say school my basa. I basa and ye must na a gada and I'll say HS for the course strike by it all my own coffee. Ye HS in tea. Yamla class na oba be try ade sana e master kan strike ni den ka ye do to Ghana mpanyifo anim se esle omo ala the HS for ni hia no monyam because strike na omo ko no eno se nya effect so ye so next 2 weeks e better exams enti se omo amba school no ma me try ade a e bia topic na ye do so na exams e beba ma ye nim so sen komo ba no mo be try identity yes Ghana penifo say omo mo HS for no mo tin be try ade enu da nya ye mboaye o emo ye dusuan ne kwa omo say kofi a icha ni bia nkan ye we betime asuan de bai ye hi omo ideas omo de ne do so sen ye de no ntia ne betime abonti as omo say omo be ba school a be try ade
pastor say ya ncha ya de efri ne kona a time ne so a ebema addition ebebobo yeso ama yentimi nsuan ye pastor ebedu onom no yebeka se question we kosua nti ebema yentimi nsuan na we
it will affect us because we are getting soon to write our BSc and we didn't come and teach us. It will affect us.
Well, the National Service Personnel Association is demanding the payment of a 2 months outstanding allowances owed members serving in the public sector. They lament the delay in disbursement of the allowances has become a norm, causing untold hardship on graduates who depend on the stipend for their survival. The association is demanding the immediate payment to avert an industrial action. Nanabuachi Yadom has more.
The national service personnel in the public sector say they are struggling to meet basic needs as payments for their monthly allowances have delayed. These allowances sometimes delay for several months before they are paid to fresh graduates undertaking the one-year mandatory service. Some personnel under the 2023-2024 batch say they have not received their allowances since January 2024. Prince Boedu is worried about the delayed payment of allowances.
Currently, we are yet to receive payment from January, February, and March. We are yet to be done with March, so let me say January and February. It's not that good. Definitely, we need money to support ourselves in our, let me say, our day-to-day activities, transportation costs, and all this. You know, as graduates, definitely our parents will want to leave us to fend for ourselves, and we will tend to rely so much on these allowances. So if we are not there, definitely it affects our livelihoods, our day-to-day activities, as we use money as a commodity to doing all these activities. I am pleading to the government that they should be up and doing. They should up their game so that they will pay our allowances on time. They should pay our allowances on time.
Secretary of the National Service Personnel Association, Nana Edujemfi Mensah, says the delayed payment of allowances has become a worry to members.
With the concerns about allowance, before this week, we had about four months unpaid allowances, but then from the beginning of this week, they have made payments for 2 months. And so now we are being owed 2 months allowances, which we feel that working for 4 months with no allowance is not something that we wish that it would happen again, in as much as it has already. And so we are telling the scheme and the government that this is unacceptable. Working for 4 months with no allowances is not something we can take. But then we also commend them for making the payment for the 2 months. So we are looking at what the future holds for the rest of the 2 months unpaid allowances.
Nana Jemfi says the association is on the negotiation table with government, but failure to comply with the agreement will warrant a strike.
And so yes, we are still on negotiation table with management and the board of the scheme and all that, although the conversations has not really been positive, but then we are entreating all our people to stand by us. We know everything that they are going through. It is not as if we've turned a deaf ear to all that is happening. We are very much aware because we are all the national leaders, we are all service personnel ourselves. And so we feel every pain that they go through. And in the coming days, after probably our last but one meeting with the management and hopefully the board, we will announce our next action. That is, a lot of us are calling for a strike and subsequently a demonstration.
For JoyNews, Nana Bochidankwe Komasi.
Well, the lack of a hostel facility for the War Nursing Training College is impacting negatively on the academic performance of students of the college. Now, the students rely on a private hostel located over 3 kilometers away from the college campus, and as a result, one has to walk daily on foot to the college. They often get to lectures tired, sweating profusely, and are unable to concentrate during lectures. Principal of the War Nursing Training College, Christine Bobori, bemoaned the lack of educative infrastructure at the college, which is pegging back academic work at the college. And JoyNews' Upper West Regional Correspondent, Traffic Salam, reports from War.
For the umpteenth time, the issue of inadequate infrastructure at the War Nursing Training College found space at the matriculation speech of the principal of the college, Christine Bobori. The college, who started on borrowed premises of the former War Municipal Ghana Education Service Office and the War Municipal Hospital Canteen, has still not overcome its developmental challenges close to 2 decades after its establishment. Vice Principal of the college, Calvin Nolobong, reading the speech on her behalf, enumerated the challenges faced by the college to come to their aid.
So the first one is lack of library space. The library cannot accommodate half of any class. Number 2, the college still lack hostel facilities and have to rely on private hostel and homes, and others have to travel in from Wa every day, both the staff and students, to have academic activity go on. Number 3, lack of staff accommodation. Number 4, the need for a strong school bus. the needs of a strong school bus. We can't train nurses without sending them to the clinical site and supervising them.
Most pressing among the needs of the college is the lack of a hostel facility. More than 90% of the close to 700 student population lives at either Perhi or Chegali and are without any form of transport except relying on their foot to take them there. They make the 8-kilometer journey on foot daily to the college and back to their private hostels. They get to the lecture room not only tired but sweating profusely and unable to concentrate during lectures. Two students of the college, Mohammed Fatih and Simon Dakuradare, explain further.
First of all, we always exhaust ourselves. Tiredness is one of them. Then secondly, insecurity, mostly waking up early in the morning and coming to school, of which they said we should always come early to school, which is insecurity that is hampering us. And then also the other challenges is what? Lack of energy to learn. We lack energy to learn when we work from our various institutions, 3 kilometers to the campus to also learn.
When we come to school, you see some of us sleeping early in the morning due to the kilometers we have to walk through before we get to the station. And one of the effects is that by closing from this school around 5 o'clock and walking back, you become so tired that in the evening you barely have time to visit your books or to do recap on what you were being taught in class, and that affects our studies the most.
Mohammed Fatih recounted incidents of robbery visited on some students whilst returning from an entertainment session in the night.
We are not secured, especially we ladies. I remember back our Form 1 days time, we came and we level 100, yes. We came and one entertainment. When we came for entertainment, going back, some people were robbed and their phones were taken away. So the insecurity, there is no security. Our security is very low.
They are appealing to the government, corporate organizations, and benevolent individuals to come to their aid.
I plead with the government of Ghana, Nanado, in his power that he should come to our aid. Dormitories, we don't have some here. It's only private dormitories you will see around, and they are costly, and they cannot even accommodate all of us. We don't have dining halls. We don't have even our classrooms are congested, especially our year ones. They have to be divided into 2.
Apa was Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Damien Pouiri, expressed worry over the caliber of nurses that are being churned out lately, urging the matriculants to up the ante. The One Nation Training College last year repeated and sacked about 70 students for poor academic performance. Dr. Damien Pouiri warned that students who are found to be academically insufficient will be shown the exit door.
I want you to come out fully bred because you are going to be handling life, human life, including your own. So if you are half-baked, you are a danger not only to the public, but yourself. And to promise you that we are not going to intervene if you are found to be insufficient in academic qualification and you are being asked to go home.
Chairperson of the One Nation Training College Advisory Board, Hajia Fusata Hamidu, admonished the students to eschew all forms of social vices, warning that they will not countenance any form of acts which goes contrary against the college's rules and regulations.
We have to eschew all social vices in the school or in the environment we find ourselves these days, or communities. And this includes illicit drug abuse, prostitution, homosexuality, stealing, and what have you, which we know are in the ascendancy in the country and our community as a whole.
The One Nation Training College received a total application of 850. Out of this number, 329 were admitted to pursue the Registered General Nursing and the Nurse Assistant Clinicals programs. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Now, the people of Adamrobe in the eastern region for decades have been neglected by successive governments. But the residents believe their woes have been deepened by the tag they are a community for the deaf. The community say they are praying God to survive because they lack critical infrastructure such as road, clinics, and potable drinking water. JoyNews' Adobe Asari was there and has filed this report.
Residents of Adamrobe are lamenting the state of the main road in the town. The road, which serves as a link between Oyibi and Ebri, is in a deplorable state. The ward residents say their decision to vote will be based on whether or not their road network is fixed.
We have our Hanamano, Titruno, Efi Oyibi, Kopimebri, Lorocano.
Our major challenge with our town is our main road which connects Oyibi to Ebri. The government have been promising to construct it for years, yet to no avail. John Mahama started, but there's been no progress since he left power.
And I go for buy, not to Orishan, Waba for Orishan and you are not saying then, we give a man. Ah, could you, baby? Say, a human Osha cry, where Brano. I'll make a tapir about to cry and say, what I human at all.
The Muababa, Anka, young Quino.
If someone wants to help us, they should first consider constructing our road. This road is a major road which connects two big towns and can serve as a good shortcut for travelers who move from Tema to Koforidua.
Kwame is a driver and a station master here. He laments how the poor road network is affecting him and other drivers in the town.
I'm Adam Rebe, GPRTU station master. Na problem I have a kwanwa sem wade e bebre yem kwan no ya kan kwan nye.
I'm the GPRTU station master for this town. We have spoken severally about the poor condition of our road. Certain people who had to be rushed to the hospital for immediate health care lost their lives due to the poor state of the road. The state of the road even affects us drivers, and we spend lots of money fixing problems the road causes our vehicles. We plead with the responsible bodies to help fix our roads.
Every day be a shop. Every day be a shop. You see, so I was talking about Untumin Tadi, DSR, Debia, a high empire, Debia, a high empire, a TTM problem, Casepa, a Hanono, TSR, Omnia who be mine.
Some residents also shared their frustration due to the poor road condition.
Martina Krum have for 10 years.
I've lived in this town for quite some time, and I can say that the major problem we have here is our road. The dust from the road is just too much for us. We are also electors who vote.
The
people of Adamrobe want the government to give them a fair share of developmental projects by constructing their road.
This is still JoyNews Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please stay. Welcome back from the break. Now, 1 out of every 3 women have experienced some form of domestic violence in their lifetime. This is according to data from the Ghana Statistical Service. The Executive Director of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, Mamiya Tiwa Adudankwa, has encouraged victims of abuse, especially women, to seek assistance and report incidents of their attackers. Now, speaking at the ARC at 25 public event, the EOCO boss emphasized the need to break the silence on abuse and seeking for help. No one should suffer in silence.
Face challenges. Don't
Don't throw your hands in despair. Find a way around it. And I can tell you, there are a lot of people who are willing to help.
The ACT Foundation, a non-profit organization, has for the past 25 years been dedicated to providing compassionate care for vulnerable individuals. To mark its jubilee, the foundation brought women leaders from various fields together for a conversation on the theme Women Speak Leadership, the Power of One. It served as a platform for prominent women in Ghana to share their experiences and insights, inspiring others to navigate the complexities of male-dominated industries with resilience and determination. They also shared experiences and addressed the struggles of managing both work and personal life. Drawing from her own experience in a male-dominated field, she encouraged women to pursue their passion with confidence and determination, defying societal expectations and stereotypes.
Whether you're a man or you're a woman, whatever that you are going through, whether challenges and other things, there are a good number of people who are prepared to help you. So if you are in a relationship, abusive relationship, you need to report to the police, or you need to report to somebody. Sometimes you are afraid, you fear. You shouldn't keep some of these things to yourself, and that there's help somewhere else. Leadership is leadership, whether you are a man or you are a woman. The challenges are the same and the concept is the same, just that women have our own challenges. For instance, you are a mother, you are a wife, you have to do other things. Having said that, most of the things that we have to go through and you need help, ask for help. And that if you are given opportunity as a woman, you need to work hard, you need to prove yourself, you need to think about excellence, you need to think about care for others, you need to think about humility, accountability, transparency. And these are the values that will drive the organization that you lead. I want to encourage women that when you have other women working around you, hold their hand, build them up. Sometimes they are afraid. Some of them don't even know the potential that they have. It is up to you as a leader to encourage them, identify certain potentials in them, and then help them to nurture and build upon those potentials. If you're in a male-dominated institution like mine, it still doesn't matter. You still have to work hard like anything, and you don't have to be afraid.
Other women leaders shared their thoughts on empowering women.
There is something amazing happening for the female gender. Make no mistake that the work of Auntie Angela and Co. has not been in vain. That the work and the contributions they've made to social justice, to equality, to fairness has not been in vain. That all of us are more empowered. Tell me something. Years ago, women were ashamed even to go to a separation, to a divorce, for example. Women were too embarrassed to talk about being a single mother. They wouldn't even talk about it. They wouldn't even share their periods when they walked into work. Today, we have single mothers who have raised amazing children.
Even the best moments in your life, even when things are going well, you stop and then say, is this? Should I? Can I? Why me? Right? There's always that self-doubt that creeps in, no matter what or who you are.
Angela Dramina Abuaje, who is the executive director of the ACT Foundation, highlighted the organization's mission to provide hope and assistance to women navigating through adversity. She underscored the significance of hearing from prominent women leaders whose journeys serve as inspirations for others.
We are very grateful to God for these 25 years of working with women and children primarily, and some men who have faced abuse, helping with legislative reform, advocacy, training several organizations, personnel in many sectors to understand sexual and gender-based violence and domestic violence issues. Today's function was to bring women together, because women is our focus, who are leaders in their organizations, public institutions and civil society institutions, and even the private sector, to tell us how have they survived, how have they made it, what kinds of values have they held on to that have made them succeed where they are and even still working towards other goals.
As Women's History Month continues, the ACT Foundation remains committed to curbing violence and abuse against women in Ghana. Through their initiatives, they provide vital support services and safe spaces for victims to seek refuge and find avenues for healing and empowerment.
Now, the Alpha Beta School has incorporated science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM courses into its curriculum. The program is to encourage pupils to embrace STEM and prepare them to solve the challenges of the future. Alpha Beta School says the launch of its STEM education program marks a step towards promoting innovation and excellence in education. Peace Vojogbe has more in this report.
Alpha Beta's modern STEM facilities offer practical learning opportunities, fostering critical thinking and problem-solving skills through real-world applications of STEM principles. The school has also launched the STEM Champion program for female students to address the gender imbalance in STEM education and employment. The program emphasizes equal opportunities for all children in STEM fields. Director of Alpha Beta Education Centers, Dr. Naomi Ejapon, highlighted the need for good facilities and having girls on the project.
We've been very proactive in making sure that our students have good facilities to be able to study STEM-related subjects. So we've been able to upgrade our science labs. We now have 2 ultra-modern labs. We've been able to create a physical science hub where students can study physical science and geography. We've been able to create a lot more STEM-related clubs, that students can join, from environmental clubs to coding, robotics, but also what we've done differently as well in the last year is we've now incorporated, through one of our partners that you probably interviewed, STEM Robo by Moria Education, we've been able to put coding, robotics and AI into the mainstream curriculum. Over the last 10 years, we've been trying to get young people to do more coding, do more robotics, but because of a poor understanding, if it's done as an after-school program, etc., we find that the uptake was quite poor. So what we did is now it's compulsory for everybody from class 1 all the way to Form 3. So that children will get a taste for it. If they like it, great. If they don't like it, it's something they'll do till Form 3 and then they can leave it. But at least they have an understanding of what it is.
Chief Executive Officer of Bountiful Technologies, Seth Ogu-Ayim, stressed the need to help young girls develop their potential and promote gender equality in STEM.
It's just 20% of women in STEM, so we want to emphasize and promote that gender bridge to make sure that the girls can also contribute to the digital economy. Robot kit, and this is built out of the logos from VEX Robotics. We are the partners in the sub-region, so the kits will be taught with instructions. And this is a clown, a type of robot that can pick different elements, different process. So this was built by some of the students in the program.
Faustina, whose grandchildren are students at Alpha Beta, commended the institution for the initiative.
STEM initiative is very good because now my grandchildren understand what science and technology is. And if you want to become a robotic engineer, the subject that you have to read at the school, and you want to be a computer programmer or software developer, the kind of subjects that you have to read seriously. So I think it's very, very good, and it's going to help our children all the way.
Some students in the STEM Champions program spoke to JoyNews.
Through the Alpha Beta STEM Championship for Girls, I've been able to know certain things in the STEM topics. Some of them were like the test for iodine in foods, test for starch, and test for sugars in foods.
It's very exciting, and I think it has given us a chance to all think of innovative ways to come up with different solutions to different problems.
Alpha Beta School is fostering diversity and innovation through its commitment to STEM education, preparing students for success and shaping future leaders and innovators. For JoyNews, Peace Vojogbe's report, read to you.
Now, houses have been touched by irate youth in a renewed chieftaincy dispute in Bole in the Savannah region. The latest clashes follow a ruling by the Tamale High Court in favor of the Jahori clan over a parcel of land. The ruling, which sought to bring finality to a long-standing chieftaincy dispute between the Boleura and the Jahori clan, rather inflamed tempers, leading to the burning of several homes and vehicles allegedly belonging to some Jahoris living in the Bole community. The overspill effect of the clashes was also felt in a Sola district, prompting heavy security deployment to both districts. District Chief Executive for Sola, Tuna Kalba, Jacobs Duma Kawe, feels worried about the latest development.
And I'm saying we have military and police presence. We have some military that came from the regional capital, Damango. And so people are going around their business peacefully. Today is even Sola market. There is no disturbance now. In Sola, only one house was burnt. Besides the one house being burnt, those who were attacked in Bole, they moved to Sola and sought refuge at the police station. The whole incident started from Bole, and it was a spillover to Sola. The feeding boxes are actually from Bole. So those who even came and did the burning in Sola are from Bole, not from Sola town. Yes, I spoke to my counterpart in Bole this morning. Yes, and she told me they were going in for a dissect meeting. I haven't gotten the result from her yet, but we have not had a dissect meeting because our dissect also composes of some of the security personnel from Bole. If we were to hold a meeting, it means the same people come to solve for the meeting. But we have spoken this morning. From the report I got, we have a group of people in Bole, and also some of them also stay in Sola. They are called Jahori. They had a court case against the Boleura, and then they went to the High Court in Tamale. Then they won the case against the Boleura. Now, I know there was an appeal by the Boleura, and the appeal to those who won. And it is like they were now going around yesterday to identify those communities that are to be for them, where they could also now install their chiefs. And it was in that process, I don't know who mobilized the warriors to attack them, but some warriors attacked them. Yes, according to the police, they arrested the corporation and sent them to Damango yesterday.
Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosolio Clean Fuel in Full Quantity and Chartered Institute of Management Accountant and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountant. Election Headquarters for an informed electorate. Now, political campaigning for the 2024 general elections has been hard hit by the recent frequent intermittent power cut, which has become known as Doomso. John Mohammed's Building Ghana tour has had to endure the power outages during the tour of Greater Accra and OT regions. Nana Yaojima sheds light on the impact of the power cut on the tour.
The frequent unannounced power cuts in recent times continue to negatively affect businesses and the daily lives of Ghanaians. Even before the tour of John Mahama suffered the power cuts, the former president made a demand for a load shedding timetable at Zene in the Sisala West constituency.
Today, every day, you sleep and the lights go off. And we know that they are shedding load. They have a problem with generation. Some generation assets are down. They have a problem with paying for gas. They have a problem with paying for fuel. So every day they are shedding between 280 and 480 megawatts of power. But they will not give us a timetable and say you'll be off today, this one will be off tomorrow, because that's what Ghanaians know as Doomso.
At the tour of the Greater Accra region, the NDC flag bearer and his entourage walked into a warm conference hall for a meeting with the regional House of Chiefs. The traditional authorities and others had to fund themselves to contain the heat. On the day, the power outage rendered the ceiling fans useless, forcing the NDC chair, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, to offer an apology.
It is true we didn't create the heat. We have no hand in whether the lights should be on or should be off. But the fact that the gathering is occasioned by us, I think we can participate, we can share in the blame of keeping you under this heat. So we apologize profusely for that.
The NDC flag bearer volunteered to support the House with a generator set.
Between today and tomorrow, we will donate a generator to the House of Chiefs. So that in this era of doom, so if we come and they put off the lights again, at least your generator will be working and will not be feeling as hot as we're feeling currently.
In the OT region, power production and distribution is managed by the Northern Electricity Distribution Company. For many, the experience with power outage would be different, but the expectations were not met.
I have experienced it myself here. Let me ask, is this doomso? All those who spoke here are worried about the power cuts, and I have also experienced the same. Since we started this program, they have switched off the light for about 10 times.
Frequent power cuts at the Nkwanta North constituency was a major concern to all who had the opportunity to speak at an open forum. Mr. Mahama continued to plead with power producers for a solution.
Yesterday, I experienced same at Ketekrachi. Let me plead with NETCO to get Ketekrachi and its environs a substation. When I get to Accra, I will call their head and plead for the problem to be solved.
Na mi drone kraya mi ankasa mefa telephone na ma frɛ omopenyu no na ma ka kye na de a me behu wo ha na ma srɛ no sɛ omo behwɛ na omo nyema mo ntɛmntɛm ara na sɛ meka.
But if it's not done by the time I return to power, I will order for the problem to be solved.
General me be fro Ghana kunja no so a eno de me mpacho me ma order sɛ omo bɛyɛ na
Solution to frequent power cuts seems far-reaching since the problem transcends through governments. Many continue to ask which of the manifestos for the 2024 election will spell out a clear program to solve the problem. For JoyNews, Nanaya Ochima reporting.
Well, the national organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Henry Nana Boakye, has disclosed that parliamentary candidate would be allocated target in the upcoming general elections. He said this is aimed at enticing the PCs and ensuring that they do not defer from canvassing for vote after being allocated the necessary resources with the mindset that the party is not popular in their constituency and hence cannot win the seat. Mr. Boakye was speaking at the inaugural ceremony of the Volta Regional Campaign Team in Ho as the MPP Regional Secretary at the MPP Regional Secretariat in Ho.
Our vote. Our parliamentary candidates, we are very happy to have you. We have had instances where we elect parliamentary candidates, they go to sleep, they don't work, simply because, oh, as for this place, we cannot win. As for this place, oh, we have lost already. Please, let me, on the authority of His Excellency the next President and the 2024 leadership of the campaign team, inform you that you are going to be given targets. We will sit with you. We are analyzing every single constituency. You are going to be given targets. So, for instance, if you achieve your target, even if you lose the elections, in our books, you have won the elections. Because you see the vote from Bantama linked to the votes in Yape Kusogo, coming to the votes in German South, moving to the votes in Jomoro, coming down to the vote in Odododio, going to the votes in Cape South, linking up to the vote in Karachi East, Bandar and the rest, that will make His Excellency the Vice President the next president of the land. So we are not going to countenance, and it has happened before. So for instance, even if you are given target, and at the end of the day, you do not achieve your target, but then you win your constituency, in our books you have lost. You know why? Because we want parliamentary and then we want presidential as well. We want parliamentary and we want presidential as well. So in as much as we are working so hard, please be guided by the targets we are going to give you.
Election Headquarters was brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Thank you so much for watching JoyNews Prime. Remember to brush your teeth day and night with Pepsodent because with Pepsodent, every smile matters. Well, up next is Prime Business with Emma Davis. Good evening.